Good afternoon, student. Today we are going to learn about simple tissue. There are three basic types of simple tissues, that is parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma, and the combination of parenchyma and collenchyma is called as chlorenchyma. So this is the combination of two different tissues. Here is the complete diagrammatic representation of a tissue. So come towards the simple tissue. What is meant by simple tissues? So first of all, one by one, we know about parenchyma tissue. Parenchyma cells forms parenchyma tissues, and parenchyma cells are the most abundant of cell type found around in almost all major parts of higher plants. These cells are basically sphere shaped when they are first made. Sometimes these cells have thin walls which flatten at the points of contact when many cells are packed together compactly, and generally they have many sides, with the majority having 14 sides. These cells have large vacuoles and may contain various secretion including starch, oils, tannins, crystal. Some parenchyma cells have many chloroplasts and form the tissue found in leaves. This type of tissue is called chlorenchyma. The chief function of this type of tissue is photosynthesis, while parenchyma tissue without chloroplast are generally used for food storage and water storage. Sometimes this group of cells are loosely packed together with connected air spaces, such as in water lilies. This tissue is called parenchyma tissues. This type of cells can also develop irregular extension of the inner wall, which increase the overall surface area of the plasma membrane and facilitates transferring of dissolved substance between adjacent cells. Parenchyma cells can divide if they are mature, and this is vital in repairing of damaged cells. Parenchyma cell and tissue comprise most of the edible portion of fruit. So this is the parenchyma tissue, which is loosely arranged, and this is the erenchyma tissue, which is found in case of lilies, and here is the combination of parenchyma and sclerenchyma, which holds which possesses chlorophyll pigment within it, and that's why they have a green color. So that's why they are called as a chlorenchyma. Next to that, here is the some basic difference in between parenchyma and collenchyma. Parenchyma have cell walls which are the thin and uniform in thickness, but while in case of collenchyma it possesses well developed extra thickening at adjacent place to intercellular space. Likewise, parenchyma serve as a storage tissue, but collenchyma is serve as a mechanical tissues. Parenchyma is found in outer and inner parts of the plant organs, while collenchyma is restricted to subepidermal parts of the plant organ. Then this collenchyma also differentiate from the sclerenchyma. So in that cases, this collenchyma consists of living cells, while sclerenchyma is a dead cells. Chlorenchyma cell contain protoplasm, while sclerenchyma is an empty cell. Cell wall are made of cellulose in case of a collenchyma, but in case of sclerenchyma, cell wall are lignified. Collenchyma thickenings of cells wall is not uniform, but in sclerenchyma, cell wall thickening is uniform. Collenchyma possesses lumen of the cell which is wide, but in case of sclerenchyma, lumen of cell is narrow. Collenchyma possesses pits which are simple and straight, but in case of sclerenchyma, pits are simple, oblique, sometimes branched also. Collenchyma provides mechanical support and elasticity to the plant body, but in case of sclerenchyma, it provides only mechanical support because it developed for the mechanical support. Then collenchyma tissues means the initial cell of a collenchyma which is formed by the collenchyma tissues. These cells have a living protoplasm like parenchyma cell and may also stay alive for a long period of time. Their main distinguished difference from parenchyma cell is the increased thickness of their cell wall. In cross section, the wall of collenchyma look uneven. Collenchyma cells are found just beneath the epidermis and generally they are elongated and their walls are pliable in addition to being strong. So, collenchyma tissue in case of a plant grows these cells and this tissue form and provide flexibility to each and every organ such as leaves, flower parts. And the good example of collenchyma plant cell, that is the straight from celery that gets stuck in our teeth. So here is the diagram of a collenchyma which shows thickest wall and the central lumen. Then come towards the third type, that is a sclerenchyma tissue. Sclerenchyma cells form sclerenchyma tissues, means a tissue can be developed from the single cell. These cells have thick, tough secondary walls that are embedded with lignin. At maturity, most sclerenchyma cells are dead and function in structure and support. Sclerenchyma cell can occur in two forms, that is sclerids and fibers. So first of all, sclerids are sclerenchyma cell that are randomly distributed throughout other tissues. Sometimes they are grouped within other tissues in specific zone of regions. They are generally as long as they are wide. An example, that is Pierce cells. Then come towards the fibers. Fibers are sometimes found in association with the wide variety of tissue in roots, stems, leaves, fruits. Usually fiber cells are much longer than they are wide and have very tiny cavity in the center of the cell. Fibers form over 40 different plant families and used in the manufacture of textile, ropes, strings, canvas, goods. To many of them we are using in our home. Here is the basic difference in between two different types of sclerenchyma cell which have thick secondary wall strengthened by lignin, that is sclerids, and that sclerids are short and irregular cells which found in nutshells and seed coats, while the fibers are long, tapered and can be found in hemp fiber for making rope and line. So here is the sclerid cells and this one are the fiber cells. Then come towards the secretory cells and tissue. As a result of cellular process, some substance that are left to accumulate within the cell can sometimes damage to the protoplasm. Thus, it is essential that these materials are either isolated from the protoplasm in which they originate or be moved outside the plant body. Although most of these substances are waste product, sometimes some substances are vital to normal plant function. For example, oils in citrus, pine resin, latex of opium, nectar, perfume, and plant hormones. So generally secretory cells are derived from parenchyma cell and may function on their own or as a tissue. They sometimes have great commercial value. So here is the one another diagrammatic representation of fibers and sclerid, which shows the difference in between sclerids and fibers. So sclerids are usually broad in shape, while fibers are elongated, narrow and thread-like. Sclerids have end walls which are blunt, but in case of fibers, end wall are tapering. Sclerids occur singly, but fibers are in bundles. Sclerids have deep pits. Pits means pores, but fibers have narrow pits means small pores. So thank you for watching my video lecture, and next lecture we learn about permanent tissues.